Good morning. I am Professor Lambeau, and I will be giving you this presentation on why United States citizens have to pay to file their taxes. So how taxes works in the United States is employers will send you W-2 forms, tax forms, and then the employees will use those forms and they'll usually send them to a tax professional like an accountant, and that tax professional will file those taxes. So they'll fill out the forms and send them back to the IRS, and the IRS will send you your refund or whatever. Many people pay companies like H&R Block or TurboTax to conveniently file their taxes. So what taxpayers will do is they'll get online to H&R Block and they'll use a software and they'll just fill out forms online and do it themselves. Um, Either way, if you have an accountant or if you go to H&R Block or TurboTax, it does cost money to use these services. H&R Block's revenue in 2022 was 3.4 billion, and TurboTax's was 9.6 billion. So very, very lucrative kind of businesses. Other countries have it very differently. Many European countries have what's called ready returns, and what those are is basically the government basically sends you a bill. That bill has what you owe on taxes broken down on how you owe it, and then you pay that money. And it's very simple. And our government can do the same thing, but they just choose not to. Other countries that aren't in Europe also use it. They call it return-free filing. It's the same thing. You get a bill and then you pay it. It's very simple. There is no middleman like an accountant or TurboTax. A couple things to note on this: not everyone is eligible in every single country to do this, but for the most part, people can do this pretty easily. And in addition to that, taxes can be disputed. So it's not like you just get your bill and then you pay it. If you get your bill and it's $1,000 high, or you bought a house or sold a house or something's wrong on it, you can dispute it and say no, that my charges are wrong, or I should be getting more money back. So why does the United States do our taxes this way? Why don't we do it the easy way? Short answer is H&R Block and Intuit, people who made TurboTax, lobbied for the government to ban ready returns. So basically, they told the government, we don't want you to do that because it would hurt our business, so please don't. And then the government said, okay. But why did the government say, okay, we already know what it is? It's bribes. Oh, excuse me. They lobbied for Congress to introduce acts that would stop people from filing for free. You can see here what Intuit gave to Congress from 1998 to 2022. With a high point of looks like about 3.5 million a year, and this is H&R Block right above 4 million. It looks like 2018. These two graphs are from OpenSecrets.org. If you guys want to check it out, it's really neat. One of the features is you can see which companies are giving to Congress or the Senate, and you can also see like the specific people that they're giving it to. So you can see who you voted for and who they're getting money from, and then you can also see the amount. So it's very, very useful resource. It's called OpenSecrets.org. So the Free File Act of 2016. This is what a few companies called the Free File Alliance put together. And the Free File Alliance is just a group of well-known tax companies. You'll see a picture of it on the next slide. But anyway, the Free File Alliance put together the Free File Act of 2016. The Free File Act provided free online filing for the lowest 70% of taxpayers by income, which sounds like a really great deal, and it sounds like most people won't be paying to file their taxes. It sounds like a win-win for pretty much everybody, but what it also did was it permanently banned the IRS from offering their own free alternative. So basically it was TurboTax and H&R Block and a few other companies that said, okay, we'll let people file for free in theory, but the IRS can't do it for free ever. They're not allowed, and that will force people to use TurboTax and H&R Block or do it themselves. And truthfully, these are very convenient programs, so people would lean towards using H&R Block and TurboTax. Well, what they would do after that is TurboTax and H&R Block and these other companies would charge taxpayers more for, quote, additional information and offers. So basically what they would do is they say you could be eligible for more money, more returns, but you have to pay us, say $50, $100 to find out if you're eligible. People would often pay it. So 70% of citizens are eligible for this, but less than 5% actually use the service, whether they just don't know or it's too difficult. How to use it? At most, you can have $73,000 in adjusted gross income. That number goes up a little bit every single year because of inflation, but it does adjust. And then you have to navigate the intentionally confusing websites. And I say intentionally confusing because they are legitimately actually confusing on purpose. It's not like TurboTax and H&R Block didn't know. It's because they do not want you to use these free services. They want you to pay. These are some of the people that are in the Free File Alliance, and some of the rules that they have on how to get the free file. It just kind of depends on your income, your age, and your state. So there are a few different rules that you can see there. There are more controversies associated with the Federal Alliance than anything else, in my opinion. Free Federal Alliance makes free services difficult to find and use. So a lot of these companies won't even have their free services listed on Google. So unless you're on their website and you know where to look, you literally will not find it. It's not possible to find it on Google. In addition, the websites are designed to steer customers towards paid services and away from the free services. So even if you click on a link that says free, it'll take you to paid services and try to make you pay for things because they do not want you to use the free services from the bill that they introduced. In addition to that, there's unnecessary upselling to people that are eligible for free filing. So like I said on the last slide, what they'll do is they'll say you might be eligible for this return, but you need to pay us $100 to find out if you are. And then people will pay it, and then it turns out there was no extra return, and they just got scammed essentially. For a few years, TurboTax didn't even include its free edition on their website. You had to go to the IRS website and find it yourself. And then in addition, once they did put it on there, they called their service the Freedom Edition, which obviously no one really knew what that meant, so no one really used it. In conclusion, tax companies have lobbied in the United States government to stop free tax filing so they can continue to profit. So overall, they told the government free tax filing should not happen. It should only go through us, and you should make us control it. And then the United States government said, okay, that's fine. You can control free tax filing. And then they made it extremely difficult to file taxes free. Those same tax companies deliberately hide those free services that they're required by law to hide. Like I said, they're making it extremely hard to use those services. And then they have faced no consequences for taking advantage of taxpayers, nor for lobbying in Congress. Final thing I'm going to say is we can change all that. We can definitely vote people in that know about this and they want to change it. We can vote people in that won't accept those kind of bribes. And we can also be informed. We can let people know that these are things that are happening. These are things that we care about. These aren't things that we're just kind of upset about. They're things that we actually legitimately want to change. So I'll leave you with that. And if you like this video, I am Professor Lambeau on YouTube. If you can like and subscribe, that would be great. Thank you for listening.